So Senator Rand Paul has put out an annual festivus report showing how the Biden administration has wasted $1 trillion. Let's hit it.
Biden's wild spending spree exposed in Senator Rand Paul's 10th annual Festivus report, showing the more than $1 trillion in government waste. Making the list this year, of course, you got to have your Sesame Street show in Rack, a multi-million-dollar pickleball complex in Las Vegas, a drag cabaret show on ice, and of course, border security for ... Paraguay. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul joins us now. Senator, this is an annual list you do. You've got a lot of problems with government people, to quote Seinfeld further. How tough is it to target and find the entries on this list?
You know, I got a lot of problems with big spenders in both parties. And here's the thing, everywhere you look, you find more of this stuff. $1 trillion. That means we found a lot of waste, but it's everywhere. It's in all the big departments, in the Department of State. It's in NIH. It's in the National Science Foundation. And people wonder, why does it exist every year? We have this Department of Doge. Are they going to be able to get rid of it? Well, the only way to get rid of it is to spend less money. So if you give the National Science Foundation $4 billion one year, and then you increase it to $8 billion, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand that you're going to get more waste, not less.
Let me tell you why what Rand Paul is saying makes sense. If let's say like now we're going through inflation, everyone's complaining about how much groceries are, gas prices are, prices, just to live, how much that has increased during the Biden administration. The funny thing is, as much as we have complained, we're still living, right? We have learned to adjust our money, to in order for us to be able to live, if not struggle, but we still able to make it in this day and age, during this time. So, for instance, let's say 20 years ago, gas price, 25 years ago, gas price was like 99 cents a gallon. Now, I mean, that was regular. Now, get regular gas is what, it's a little over $3. I know I put like the premium supreme in my truck, so it's gonna be a little bit more, but it done went up. Everybody's complained, but we've made it. We've complained about the price of eggs, but if I look at my refrigerator now, there's like 2 or 3 carts in there right now. Bread, same thing. It's 2 or 3 loaves of bread in there, although, we got people that we're feeding, but still, it's there. You find a way to adjust your spending one way or another in order for you to continue to survive. Now, if people do it every day, I'm not saying I don't want to see prices lower, because hell, the world knows, Lord knows, I want to see prices back down to what they were at least a couple of years ago. Give us a chance to, like, inflation just moved a little too quick. But think about it. The price of cigarettes. I do not buy cigarettes, but I'm going to look at something right quick. Let me see. Real time price of cigarettes. Let's see. Not now. In the United States, the average price of a pack of cigarettes is $8. That's in 2024. Let's say in 2020. How much was a pack of cigarettes in 2000? In 2000 was almost $5. Okay. How much was cigarettes? Oh, never mind. That's because I put in too many numbers. There we go. Price of cigarettes in 2020 was $6.58. In 2021, it's $7.22. And like I say, right now, how much we say it is? It's $8. That's a doggone lot of money for some cigarettes, but people like to smoke. People are addicted to smoking. So you know what they'll do? They'll adjust things. They'll figure out a way to buy cigarettes. So basically, all I'm saying is people will adjust. So if you can, the government will make us citizens adjust. So if we can adjust, then the government should damn sure be able to adjust, because they control the money. But because they control the money, they spend it how they want to, because they just make it, just pull it out the air. They just print it up and say, here you go. So if we can So why can't they say, hey, you say you need $1 million to do this study? We'll give you 500,000. Just like what was it Steve Jobs at Apple when they said that he had a new project he wanted to do, wanted to create a new product. He put everything out, specs, what he's looking for, what he needs, and then he said, "Okay, y'all, how long will it take y'all? How long will y'all need to make this?" Somebody will say, maybe about 18 months." He said, "Okay, good. You got 8 months to get it done," and they would get it done. So I mean, basically, whatever you need to do, you will figure out a way to streamline stuff. So that's all that we want the government to do is streamline their spending. Simple as that.
It's been going on since the 70s, but it has exploded. But you have to be willing to cut spending for the overall department. NIH will have more waste if you give them more money. They spent $3 million studying what kids do when they look at ads for food on Facebook. So they had a whole bunch of kids look at ads for food on Facebook, and that was $3 million worth. I mean, hundreds of thousands of dollars to drill holes into cats' head, spin them around
Really.
rapidly, and study motion sickness.
Really. And if a little kid would do something like that in the back alley, they say that he's going to grow up to be a serial killer. But they get money to do that. Shoot.
Sounds more like animal cruelty than it actually sounds like an experiment. But the list goes on and on.
And that's not to mention, I mean, you have stolen COVID relief funds, $8 million. One guy from Florida did it to buy an island. You mentioned the cat. The list does go on and on, but you also alluded to this, Senator. Do you think your tradition ends this year? In other words, is this the year that Doge eliminates the need for you to go through and make this list because they've done it over the course of the intervening 365 days?
Ultimately, it takes Congress. Congress has to get rid of the spending. Doge can point out the spending problems and the waste the same way I've been pointing it out. But the reason it's not eliminated is they don't have the votes to get rid of the spending. So I am very hopeful that Doge will draw attention to this the same way I've been drawing attention to it. But I'll give you an example. About a year ago, there was a chips bill, a bill to subsidize microchips, semiconductors in the United States. Well, in that bill, they doubled the size of the National Science Foundation. Now, the National Science Foundation is the one that's famous for doing a study on whether tequila or gin makes people more aggressive. So they fed fish, half of them tequila, and the other half of the fish gin, and they decided which made the fish more aggressive. That's the National Science Foundation.
See, and that's a waste of money because you could have done. You could have used that money actually find cats that like to drink. I remember I used to drink gin back in the day. You could find people who actually drink and say, "Hey, drink this. We're gonna have half of y'all drink this, half of y'all drink that. Let's just see how you act." Me myself, when I used to drink back in the day, alcohol, I go to sleep. But I knew cats who would get aggressive. I knew cats who would do dumb stuff. I knew that, but me, I sit at home and just sip and go to sleep. So listen, you could have gave me some of that money for them studies, man.
Most of the terrible, wasteful projects, the crazy stuff and experiments going on is National Science Foundation. In the CHIPS bill, all the Democrats and half the Republicans voted to double the size of the National Science Foundation. So why is there more waste? Because the idiots in Congress keep giving them more money.
Well, it will be interesting to see again what happens when Republicans control the House, the Senate, and the White House. Very different from what we've experienced the last 96 hours in Congress. Will this waste go away? Will you be needed on Christmas Eve next year? We will see. Senator Rand Paul, enjoy the day and the week with your family, and we thank you.
I'm Steve.
So let's go over his festivus report. I'm gonna put the links in the description box so y'all can click on it yourselves. But it's the festivus the report 2024. I'm gonna go through a little bit of it. It says how's 20. Oh, anyway, that's a lot. Let's see. What I want to see. It says last festivus we bemoan the national debt nearly $34 trillion in just a year. Washington's career politicians and bureaucrats have managed to push it beyond $36 trillion, unsurprisingly, with hardly a second thought. Now, here's what I'm gonna say about this debt and how it went up $2 trillion in a year. Y'all do know how interest. Not really how things how money can compound quickly, especially the more that you have. Like we've already discussed, like it say if something, let's say if spending goes up, let's say 10% a year. If you have $1 and it goes up 10%, next year you spend $1.10, spend $1.10. If it goes up 10%, again, that's another 11 cent. What's that? $1.20 something cent, right? After 2 years, 3 years, $1.30, 4 years, $1.50 something, and so on and so forth. Now, once you get into like the millions and you're talking about 10%, now you're talking about 100,000. If you're talking about 10 million, you're talking about a million, and so on and so forth. So when you talk about trillions, I mean, the money will go up quick, fast, in a hurry once you get into that big money. That's why I always say, start small with your investments and over time, pay attention to your investment, put a little bit at a time. In the beginning, it won't look like a lot of money, but in the end, when it's all said and done, you can have hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions in your bank account or your savings or retirement account, and you can live comfortably. What did you say? This year I'm highlighting a whopping, oh Lord, one, is that 1 trillion, 8 million, no, 8 billion, 313 million, $329,626.12. Ooh, I read that pretty good. Anyway, let's see some of the things he put down here. It said the federal government spent 10 billion on maintaining, leasing, and furnishing almost entirely empty buildings in a ghost town. A Florida man stole 8 million in COVID-19 relief funds to buy an island. The Department of the Interior spent 12 million on a Las Vegas pickleball complex. I heard pickleball is pretty kind of famous right now. It's kind of popular. I work with a nurse who used to go to like pickleball tournaments, and she like asked me to work her shift because she was coming back, work her shift for a little while because she got back in town because she went to a pickleball tournament. She's an older woman, like maybe in her 50s, maybe, you know what I'm saying? So I guess pickleball is a thing to do. Department of State wasted 330,000 to fund censorship of non-liberal and conservative media. Let's see, awarded 2 million grant to study kids looking at Facebook ads about food. The DOS spent 108,000 on non-functional hotel. Congress spent 15 million to turn the IRS into an unconstitutional force to prepare, file, and audit your hard-earned money. Department of Health and Human Services spent 419,000 to determine if lonely rats seek cocaine more than happy rats. Really? Department of Energy spent 15.5 billion to push Americans toward electric vehicles they don't want. Yeah, that's coming. I mean, I'm looking, and from what I see, it's coming, man. It's coming. So if you can like invest into like uh EV charging stations, if you got the land and the money, shoot, get you some. You got a store, put you some EV charging stations out there in front of your building, man, because shoot, you're gonna need them here pretty soon. A lot of them. Let's see what else. It's a lot. It's a lot of them, man. I'm not gonna read through all these. It's quite a few pages. Dragon said National Endowment for Arts awarded the Bearded Ladies Cabaret a $10,000 grant to support a cabaret show on ice focused on climate change. How in the hell is that go together? That's two things that don't match. I don't get it. But anyway, yeah. So bottom line is that's why you got the Doge coming. That's why Trump and Elon Musk are bringing the Doge so they can look over this spending, cut all this spending out, help reduce the deficit or decrease it. You got to pay off debt because remember, debt is imaginary money. Why is it imaginary money? Because you're charging interest on money that's already out there. And interest, let's say like this, if it's $100 in circulating through the world, and you let and you had it, and you allowed someone to borrow it, and you said you're going to charge them interest on that $100, going to charge 10% interest, compounded, or monthly. How in the heck they going to ever pay you back? They can't. They can't because only a certain amount of money. Now let's say you got to own $100 in this country, but you got other countries got $100. Only way you're gonna be able to pay them back is to borrow, go somewhere else and get some money from them, from another country. Another country that got the $100. Well, if you borrow from them, what if they want interest? Okay, so you get their money, give the US back their $100 plus the 10% interest. Now you still owe the other people money. You understand what I'm saying? So, like I say, it's imaginary money. Hopefully, Donald Trump and Elon Musk can cut this government spending down. I'm all about paying off debt and and creating wealth and gaining wealth and living as comfortably as possible. But hey, we'll see. But anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below, share it with the world. Let's have intelligent conversation. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Those 4 things cost you nothing but maybe a couple of minutes out your day, but it means the world to us here. If you want to support us financially, you can get super thanks, super chat, super stickers, and you can go to the description box below. There are links there you can click on to help support the channel there. With that being said, I leave you in peace.